Good evening. Map 1 done. Mirage did go the way of FaZe as they did manage to stabilize on their CT side after a big showing. Lauren, what was that T side? Man, oh man, I'm excited to see if they can do the same on Cash. You already kind of set the scene in the break, or going into the break, just suggesting that this could be a very good map for Fnatic. Why was that?
Well, I just want to see what sides they start on to begin with.
Yeah, fair.
If FaZe begin on the T side, this could be another interesting... You good, buddy?
Just throwing things around this desk. Go.
Settle in.
Do your thing. Talk.
No, for me, I would just want to see which side they start on for one, because I think FaZe's T side is far superior to their CT side currently, at least. Yeah. In the fact that you saw such a 9-day performance of a very commanding team on their T side. To one that's it's diligent, but it's not quite that shining beacon of AZ just creating opportunities, Rain going crazy, Alu providing his Kyo hitting some crazy shots. You know what I mean? Like everyone's finding that real form. And for Fnatic, I think there's a lot to be seen, but this is one of the maps that they do actually play, though. So this is one that was in their map pool previously that we'd actually seen a couple of times where they looked decent. I wouldn't say they look outstanding, but they looked good enough, and they picked up some good wins.
Right, exactly. So this is what I was highlighting before the break with the Mirage. Well, that was their debut of Mirage in a competitive environment, of course, statistically anyway, here on the screen. They have played, the only games they have played so far in a competitive environment have been here in the Pro League. And I've got them up on my screen. Of course, they have 4 wins, 2 losses.
It was just Cash Dust 2, and then they had the one cobbled, didn't they?
Yeah, so like, basically it's all a whole load of Cash. Lost an OT to Hellraisers on Cash. They beat G2 rather convincingly 16-8 on this very map. A very close game versus Mouseport, 16-14. So they've played it. This is actually the map they've played the most with this roster, at least officially. So now that I didn't get to catch that Hellraisers OT victory, but that piques my interest because that's Hellraisers with. Oh, well, let me just bring it up. That's of course Hellraisers without Oscar. So I can't help but feel a victory for Hellraisers is already a sign that Fnatic's Cash is far from what it once was.
Oh, yeah. It's not quite there yet, but I've got to say, Hellraisers were playing one of those crazy games. You had Sticko, I think it was, having one of those massive performances that changed everything.
30 kills.
30K.
You got $30,000, yeah.
Nice. No, yeah, like he was having a really big game during regular time. I don't think it really transferred into OT, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I'm trying to pull back these memories, but yeah, it was very impressive to watch. And Fnatic weren't bad, though. They were perfectly fine, but they just didn't go that extra mile for me. They weren't that Fnatic that looks flawless. They weren't that Fnatic that goes absolutely crazy. So it's what sort of sides do we see turning up here? Do we see the FaZe T side from Mirage, where it was just really powerful, very dominant, or do we see the FaZe that looks a bit, individual? They don't have that big collective power. Is that the side we see, or do we see the Fnatic CT side dominance with the aggression in there? This is something we were looking towards, we didn't see much of. There was a lack of aggression throughout the map. They weren't, pushing through Squeaky. They weren't pushing, the B halls. They weren't, going aggressive through mid. The counter boosts weren't there. So that's what I'm looking at.
Does this mean I can ask a silly question now and ask who chooses what side? Like how is that determined? Is that there's no knife round, right? We haven't seen a knife round, so I'm guessing that's sort of determined through the veto system, which, as we saw before, is very difficult to explain. Yanko did so in approximately, I think, 5 minutes. It took him to explain the veto process. But the map is Cash, as if we haven't said it enough. A map record that certainly does point in one team's direction. Look at that, 7-2. Spectacular work. The recent performance from Fnatic on this map is the map we've seen them most. Now, it does look like we're going to be seeing FaZe start on the defensive side, and so that does start the discussion. Let's not forget, Fnatic, last time they did play this map, it was versus Hellraisers, and they did post a convincing 9-6 scoreline on their CT side. On their T side.
And I would argue that there has been some difficulty with FaZe, getting Alu onto the AWP here when the economy's been shattered, but a very, let's say, decisive start from Fnatic here at this point, as they do seem to be very much wanting to go towards the A side, but the cross is being dominated by Rain with 2 big shots back-to-back. AZ chimes in with his own towards Dennis, leaving such a deficit with Fnatic.
Solid work then from FaZe. The bomb's loose on quad as well. They will not be losing this round. That's for certain. As Olaf does explode, but he's taking a double peek, and there's no hope as the double A's do close it out. And of course, they are showing good signs of power. That's a battery joke because I said double A. But now Fnatic, though, do have to do something on this second round. Now, this is what they did before. They had no problems picking up that second round, and then we saw what happened, Lauren. That T said they basically bounced back on the second, and then all that did was cripple their money as they conceded the third. And so there's actually going to be quite a few tests coming up. They have gone for the force buy here, and so Fnatic, what we saw previously was FaZe finding great success, just charging with these Tech 9s, and this time there is plenty of Deagles, which suggests a more passive, picky approach. You can't quite run into sites with Deagles, at least I wouldn't recommend it. 3 of them on the T side, Lauren. What are you thinking here?
I want to see where Lekra is looking with that smoke as well. It could just be I'd hedge a bet towards an A hit, and maybe a split towards mid. But mostly just because they have someone like Lekro playing at the back of Squeaky, so he can do the smoke over the top. He can allow him to get a bomb plant. That's really what you're looking at here for Fnatic, is trying to build some form of small economy off the back of something that's not particularly ideal, which is what we're going to be getting. It looks like Olaf's just trying to play a bit of a rotate role, just trying to catch anyone out. But the problem is there's someone just by the box to his right. Good shot towards Keo, but I don't know if he's going to make it out cleanly. He does. Lovely advantage. That actually might put the brakes on this A play. Might make them second guess themselves here. We'll see if they still commit.
What's interesting is, despite losing a player over on the B site, not a single member of FaZe moved. It does look like they've got the right message, they've got the memo, and that's a spectacular flash. Rain, did he mess up there? It looked like he was going for an A peek, and actually couldn't quite make it into the site. The flash unable to be seized upon. The opportunity now gone. For a second, spray control, little flimsy, does tag up Wenton down to 27. Now, look at their health bars, Lauren. That's going to be, I was going to say difficult for them to work back into the site, but a shot from Wenton does enable him to cross back. And here comes Jacob on the flank. They're all staring at him. It should be a lineup. It should be a party with the P90, but instead it'll just be the one. And now it's a question of time. And look at Olaf from behind. It's put a bullet into the spine of Alu. And what have you got, AZ? Just a UMP on a retake scenario. He's miles away. There was past tense and M4 to retrieve. It looks like Olaf's grabbed that. And with the bomb down, it looks like Fnatic could be doing it for a second time here.
And this is a big part of Olaf Meister being Olaf Meister. He actually played a really nice lurking role in mid there, cutting off Alu, the one player who had the bigger rifle. He got the first pick as well. Then you had Lekro catching the rotate. So basically, Fnatic put them left, right, and center, but AZ doesn't care about this. He wants to go on it, and he might get it done. He's got a kit as well. This is huge. 1v1. Him up against Olaf Meister. 10 HP on Olaf, who has to peek, and AZ gets the job done.
He just made me clap. I just clapped. Straight up applause from me over on AZ. That's awesome. I like that a lot. The patience as well. You can see Olaf was just doing that maths in his head. He was sitting there like, that could be a kit, 2, 3. I have to peek now. AZ's lined up perfect. I love this. That first kill onto Wenton won him the round.
And he pulled a full 1v3 on this map as well last time we watched them. Not necessarily an impossible one, but
2, 3, 4.
He had to.
Oh, he had to peek. Damn, that's good. Okay, second round to FaZe.
So this is the problem, though. This means that FaZe's economy is not stable. It means that they've been down to, just one player left remaining with rifles and such, so they're going to reinvest, and this will mean that Fnatic wants to reinvest as well because they've got plants. So both economies are a little bit weak at this point. So both teams looking for their opportunities here.
Man, that's a fantastic gear from ESL. I hadn't seen that
so
before.
Good.
Wow, I love that. Okay, I can't retweet that currently, but do be sure to check out at ESL. Lauren even tweeted it as well. There you go, that's awesome. Right, so we're back into the action now as I'm accidentally plugging social media. Now, Dennis has been boosted up, but hasn't chosen to take the fight. That is, of course, I was going to say paranoia of an AWP. I don't even know if the math works out, but smoke to Z. And now Alu's positioning is where really the damage can get done here. He is going to be able to catch them if they should choose to exit. J-Cam's there for the crossfire and vents, and this could be a bit of a guillotine. 1 down, 2 down, 3. Alu teaching us how to count 2 with the UMP. It looks like it could actually be a third as well if Lekro continues to take this fight. This is looking awful for the boys of Fnatic. They've just been ripped apart by an aggressive mid-stack.
There was a big issue for Fnatic, the fact that they had no molly, so they could never clear out vents prior to actually, pushing over pretty much. But you want to be able to trade effectively. They weren't. They basically went out in a form that could not be traded off. Now, Olaf Meister looks to try and, I guess, pull it ahead, tear it ahead. He does recover the rifle. That's important. But he still has to look out for Alu, who now has so much freedom. And he's going to hear those steps. He knows where Lekro is heading towards. Sadly, they don't assume for them that Olaf could have been in mid. That was a bit of a misread there, a bit of a misplay, making the assumption that he couldn't pull it off. Now, there's a small window of opportunity, but time is running thin. Olaf Meister would have to do something insane, and the time is not on his side. And as talented as he may be, this one is all but done. Time runs out. FaZe keep it to hand. But again, costly rounds and...
Look at his body!
Why have you done this, father?
He's just thinking about his choices. And you know what? That was after time. Does 700 for Olaf.
Ouch.
Wow, that is a kick in the teeth and somewhere else as well.
I was about to say. Oof.
It's a kick and it rhymes with kick.
Nope, that's not. We don't need to describe that.
What? I was talking about Flick. Now, moving swiftly into the fourth before I get myself fired, we do see just double flash in the P250 of Dennis. What you got for us? Nothing. Olaf previously did find success just into the second with a deagle in that very spot, but this time J-Chem brought the fight to him. It's going to be the MP9 in his grasp. He's already pocket 600. Could it make it 12 as he's... Ooh, just going to catch another one. Oh dear, he is making the big bucks, and he could even find a third here. It will be.
Oh,
this is horrible. This is going to be 5 SMG frags if this round continues to go this way. Oh my lord, that's a lot of money. 5 times 6, 3,000. There we go. 3,000.
Dangerous.
I just did maths on air. I said I would never do that. Who am I?
To be fair, this is very well needed. Whether or not they stick on the SMGs here is the debatable point. I'm not sure if they will. The point is, however, that they've got enough of a buffer to survive this round and still be able to buy very well into the next for FaZe. They didn't have that before. That's what that round just did. Now, Fnatic have come back in on a decent buy, but these SMGs are looking for that silver lining, looking for that quirky play. You know, it's the girl who calls herself bubbly. That's what this round is.
Oh, Lauren, you do make me laugh. Oh, Jesus. Bubbly. Okay. She's wearing a polka dot dress as well, isn't she? Yes, she is.
That Lego haircut's
Stop it now. Stop. Because she's probably watching. It's 4-0. And oh, AZ, see you later. That's Lekro, solid positioning from him. This aggression from FaZe is starting to get punished. And let's not forget that they did keep hold of the SMGs from the previous round. So this is, as some Canadian caster would describe, a Jaden round. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and call it exciting, because look at JChem go. Oh, should be 2. He will be 3-1 and a second. Can he grab an AK? It's not within his grasp. He needed a fresh mag and it's cost him his life, but he's actually managed to make a round out of this, Lauren.
And that's the bomb. He saw that as well. This is, oh, that was so close to changing it. Lekro's down to 13. Now, what can Keo do? 1v3. I think he's been spotted as well. Dennis will keep that in check. Fnatic stabilized, but what a close round.
Ay caramba, in the words of Bart Simpson. I was close. I was so close. And I'm not going to lie, where did I caramba come from? I've never said that before in my life. I am a strange human being. Okay, Lekro is poor. Going to grab myself the M4 off the floor. I'm a poet and I didn't know it, but where's Alu taking that AWP? Is this the first time we've seen it? I believe it is, especially considering the SMGs they had in the prior round. Now, I think he's going to have a very good read on this. The fact that he's already on the cross towards A does suggest that should Rain report back that he needs help on A, that AWP will be there. In fact, they both came in. I love this, the double push. It does feel like putting all of their eggs in one basket, but that basket currently is made out of Kevlar because they are standing strong. But now, Fnatic bite back with 2.
And AZ did nothing in that. It was all Rain. It was brilliant. It was like, please, I'll spray into the smoke. I'll do anything. He falls off the box and dies. It was great. 3v2 though. Olaf and Twist going to try and make something happen for themselves. Alu taking a peek towards main. Gonna have to be careful on that. You don't want to give it back and bring it back to an even situation 2v2. So Olaf trying to get towards his site. Jacob's found the cross. That's the bomb now down. Olaf Meister is loose though. He can try and get something done. Not gonna have the chance. Keo is there.
Now off you go for us, Fnatic. Looks like I'm getting cyberbullied by Twitch chat for saying shim shim.
Do you need a safe space?
I think I need a safe space and I need a doll to tell you whether Twitch chat's touching me.
Oh,
so, this is going to be another free round for FaZe. That's assuming. Now, you know what happens when you assume? It makes an ass out of you and me, but... Ooh. Hello. Just got brought down with a little bit of a cheeky bang. Swinging out with that deagle, he's not going to find anything, but AZ's going aggressive, and this feels like a little bit of a risk. One bullet from the pistol, and it does! Look at this! I said it's not a guarantee. That assumption is coming back to haunt me, because already Fnatic got themselves an M4 and 2 entries into either side. Alu falling earlier, AZ in middle. Or vice versa, do excuse me. Words are indeed hard today. I was on a plane not too long ago. But now it's going to be Keo and Rain versus the world.
Keo's going to need something incredible to happen here. Not going to be allowed to get even a step towards it. Olaf Meister too aware, too switched on to even let that happen. Lekro's going to close out as well. And as you said, Fnatic always deadly on these rounds, and they've recovered so much as well. 3 they had to reinvest on towards Wenton and Dennis. Outside of that, though, they got everything back into their favor. The one benefit being that FaZe haven't been too lackadaisical with their money. They've been relatively calm with it. They haven't been over-investing. So they can probably even out their money here. A couple of investments, a couple of upgrades, but not too much. So how do Fnatic approach this, though? This is one of those rounds that classically Fnatic just don't lose at all. This is one of the ones where they're very, smart about it. They use their mollies well. They come into this and they play it in the most robust manner they can. So now, for Fnatic, this is a testing point. New lineup, new stuff.
Oh,
nice.
It looks so
was
good.
Was that team flash then, or was that?
I think that was his teammate, AZ's teammate.
Okay, that was a FaZe flash, because I was worried there, because he was kind of walking in like he was going to underhand throw it, and I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea.
But, you could be right. I don't remember seeing any flashes on the start of the CT side. You know what? That could very well have been Lekro kind of committing suicide with that flashbang.
I'm not sure.
Now AZ does have a weapon, and he's going to use it. Just 1 down. That's not ideal, but it is still a big step in the right direction. That's going to be quick from Dennis, though. Not only finds the trade, but finds the 3rd. That's the 2nd. Alex Maths is hard at this point in time. But that's going to be a bit of a retrieval mission now from Rain. trying to find a revenge frag, and he just seems to have a good read that Twist is going to be crossing onto the side, but it's just a P250, and no hope, no prayer for him. With 50 seconds left, the retake with pistols is unlikely. This is going to be Fnatic's round locked up.
Yeah, this is better. They've stabilized after wide spokes too soon, maybe a little there. Alu still makes it a little bit more costly, but the classics keep it in line. Olofmeister and Dennis, the backbones of this roster to a degree, you could argue, keeping it in check.
I mean, 15 frags between them. These guys are making cash. Yeah. Really winnable at this point in time. Twist and Wenton have been unable to really make too much of an impact.
So, can FaZe put it back into their favor? This is the next big point here. Their money's far from perfect, but enough to scrape something together. Again, however, they haven't been particularly making much impact once those big gun rounds came out to play. Of course, you know, Fnatic claiming quite a few back-to-back here. Yeah, however, we've got Twist on the AWP.
They have mixed it up. I mean, we've seen, let's think about this. We saw Dennis, Olof, and now Twist AWPing, and that's the flexibility of this new Fnatic roster. They don't have that set role. There is no one committed to it in the same way JW was. And it'll be intriguing to see how that does kind of affect their performance once they do get maps down. I mean, I do feel like that's something that does bear repeating. Nice shot from Alu. That's going to be catching just the tip of Twist's head. Sometimes that's all you need. Now. Peeking towards middle, it's going to be Olof, who surely is going to win out on this one. Alu did get flashed, but he will be able to evade that for now. And Olof, oof.
Foons out of there.
Yeah. He's doing it sideways! I missed this, Lauren.
I know. Yeah. It's great. Completely unprofessional. Gonna get fired.
We're having fun, though.
Oh, Dennis. That's a lovely boost.
It's boost first boost!
Mum, get the camera! But the quick smoke out towards A. They're not going to expect delayed boost, and they don't expect Rain to walk in towards main.
That's a pain.
As he really should have just mostly stayed on the plane, Alex, here. As Lekro going to be finding at least one as he's playing out of Squeak. He does catch the other. Alu kind of exposes himself there. He's probably back down to this 2v2. The bomb's on its way towards the site. And let's remind ourselves what Keo has. Only the Mag 7. Far from ideal to play retakes on. It's perfectly fine to hinder the initial approach. But beyond that, you know you're working against the odds. Dennis still with a molly as well. Is a big impact player into this one. He doesn't even need it. Dennis lands a shot. Keo goes down. And Fnatic are falling back into what you expect from these guys. I like the quirkiness of FaZe's play then. That, you know, play towards main, the boost coming out, it just didn't quite come, you know, all at the same time together. It just kind of fell apart.
I think the only criticism you would point towards there is Rain and his push into A main. After boosting his teammate up, perhaps maybe the smoke was dissipating and he kind of had to take that challenge. I didn't quite see the specifics there, but all the same. Let's see what we have here. This will be a slower round from Fnatic. This is what you were talking about before, Lauren. You were highlighting that this is something Fnatic are very comfortable with doing. They will take every second that they have to make a safe space. What was that from Dennis? Did he not see him? He did actually tag him up, despite being visible over the smoke. Dennis couldn't quite catch him. We are humans, after all. At least some of us. Now, where does that bomb look to be going? There's a good read here. FaZe have 3 players on the B side, Lauren. This is not necessarily the most awkward of scenarios for FaZe.
This is still perfectly fine for Fnatic, though. They have so many, well, they've got 3 Molotovs. I think they just put one into play, smoking it out. They should check this. This is something you check. You check close, because Alu likes to play it normally, but it's actually Jacob here this time. So they should be checking this. They aren't doing so. Lekro eventually will put it back in after Wenton goes down, but now 3 more players. Rain's going to get caught up in just a little bit of a spray in towards the smoke. A little unfortunate, but will they check for Keo? He is the ace up the sleeve. He tries to come in, but the timing's just not on his side. And maybe a little rush there.
Actually, did you hear the disappointment in my voice there? I started to feel like they could have lined up a couple of kills. I'm not saying round winning, but I'm suggesting that could have been damage done. And actually, Fnatic find themselves a little bonus as the bomb did go down, so that's extra cash in the pockets of every single T-side player. And so we venture into round 11. 11, depending on where you're from. Catering to the French and Germans there. I don't know any other languages. Can you give me another one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can only swear in other languages, which
yes. I mean, 11 isn't the first word you learn in languages.
No, most people just leave it at 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough to get you through your oral exams.
You're right. Here they
come.
come.
Flashes mid, Alex. Keo is the one who's completely blinded, burning alive. He's somehow... How did he get away with that?
And how on earth?
I don't understand this. This is unreal stuff. Amongst the complete mayhem, in the eye of the storm almost, he stays alive, and now look at this. Weathering the storm is the other FaZe members. Alu expecting the play towards A, and it's just Twist left alive in the 1v3. Carl's down the first. Keo gets reminded this game is still certainly competitive, but Alu gets into the play and keeps us in check. If they'd taken down Keo, I guess a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes in that one, but what on earth was that round? So chaotic.
So chaotic, and I mean, credit where credit is due. FaZe come out of a double flash pushed into middle with a numbers advantage. Very crazy. You're right, Keo going down was probably the crux of Fnatic's issues there. Still, smoke towards middle. It does seem there's a little additional paranoia now from Fnatic. That's like the third, if not the second round that we have seen FaZe take pure mid control. 3, if not 2 players pushed in, and that's the flash play. That could have been what we saw before in that P250 round. That does make sense.
Yeah, that would make far more sense if that's the case.
Pro team flashing himself.
I was just like, how has he done that? No, that does make far more sense. But we've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the board. Now, Olaf White's taken up a very get-right-esque role here. I like to kind of put it into that category because, you know, you often see get-right being incredibly successful doing the speed play. Olaf, not so much so. Jacob's going to get the better of him, almost dies to his teammates spraying in there, but it does do the job regardless. Somewhere else on the map, Rain did catch out Dennis, I think making a bit of a step out towards main, expecting maybe someone not to be peeking it so brazenly, but that not to be the case here. Leaving it in the 3 remaining Fnatic members' hands. You've got Letcrow, Wenton, and Twist, the 3 new members. Wenton maybe not as new as the others, but you know what I mean. So Alu's going to be just periodically peeking mid. Nice adjustment on Twist. That's the AWP now removed. Now they should have the full picture of what's coming their way. It's going to be an A hit. Simple as you like. Wenton going to catch out AZ and pull it back to maybe a realm of possibility.
I don't know if it is the CS we're watching, if it's the fact that I'm casting CS for the first time in a while, but I am sweating profusely, Lauren. I don't know.
Why did you tell me that?
I've taken the jacket off. I can't do this.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having hot flushes. Is that a thing?
Isn't it
Can
me
men
at
have
my
that?
age meant to be going through that?
I can't do it.
Menopausal issues kicking
Making
in.
casting very difficult. Oh, that feels better. Okay,
yeah, you feeling good now?
I'm feeling better. Okay. So 7 for FaZe in the CT side, and I can't help but highlight that this is not necessarily always the case. Their CT sides have always left something to the imagination. We've always thought that there's much more for them to unlock, and if they could get any more than 7, they are going to be so comfortable coming into their T side. Not forgetting that, I mean, Fnatic, their last CT performance, they did manage to accumulate 9 versus Hellraisers. Just 6 on their CT side. That does make sense and does add up. Just making sure. Just 2 Tech 9s. It was Wenton and Twist. Now, is Olaf's weapon retrievable?
Not really at this point. I can imagine they'll probably move it away, if anything.
By Sunroom.
Yeah, I love that little pop flash from, well, not pop flash, but the little flash from Rain to set up the player from quad to be able to peek out. I do believe that's easy if required, and they do. They do have a little bit of a peek there. Again, just keeping information flowing. We've missed every kill here. Finally catch one. Rain going to get down Letcrow, and now it's just Twist in the 1v5.
Perhaps our observer was in a bit of a rush. 8-5. And that's, of course, a dank meme. Just 2 more rounds of play here. Oh, look at that production, just reminding us who is controlling the camera. He was teaching me how to surf today, Lauren.
How did it go?
I wasn't very good.
No?
I got to stage 10 out of 15.
On what? Do you know what it was? Was
God.
it beginner rush? Can you clarify?
Can you somehow communicate what map I was on?
No? Classics?
What was I playing? It was...
I don't know.
Okay. He doesn't know.
I done woe.
Yeah. He hasn't got nice handwriting. You don't need nice handwriting to observe CS. That's a little lesson for you, any of you.
Ooh, AZ back off from that. Such a dangerous position to be in against a Deagle there, because they literally can only just see your head as well. Yeah. So you know you're going to get taken down. Olaf finally wins that battle. Now he's been doing this for like 3 or 4 rounds back to back, losing out on it. Has a pistol, no armor, finally wins it. Yeah,
that's going to be actually kind of a tough pill for them to swallow. Fortunately, Alu, not again. Oh, he goes for a re-peek. I didn't think it was perhaps the wisest move. Then peeking into a Deagle with an AWP, that there is that 1-to-1 shot exchange. It's crazy to think that this $700 investment is the same as the AWP, the Zoom Banger, 4,750. Not a bad trade. And now they actually are at a numbers disadvantage. So 50 seconds on the clock, and they are going to be seeing a couple of flashbangs. That is not necessarily to go for a frag. That is simply to delay the T side. He needs the rotate to come in from his teammates. And already Rain has found himself on truck. But Dennis, oh, there's a back turn. What have you got for us, Rain? How is he still alive? Dennis has missed every single pistol bullet coming out of his Deagle. Fortunately, Wenton's providing us with a second, and it is going to be down to a 2 versus 2. Now, the bomb can go down. Kit's available for both the CTs, so they're not in any rush. And Keo has a Molotov, so quad will be a no-go for the T side.
No, this is going to be tough for them to even hold on to it. Dennis needs to really forget those shots that he was hitting, or not hitting, should I say, on Highway, and get back to the form we know he can hit now. Does have the armor, does have the deagle. He's got the bomb plant for him. He's going to find the first, right into the chest of Rain, swings out and catches Keo. That's the Dennis you want to be seeing.
A battle for redemption. After missing what was essentially 6 deagle bullets back-to-back onto Rain. And he gets it. 3 AWPs, what on earth? Hang on a second. Looks like they're going for something rather,
what?
I would describe this as spicy. Lauren, this is a spicy play. Well. He has no armor and he has no money. A big fat goose egg next to that $sign. Okay, triple AWP CT side. The new meta has been established, it seems. Here on the final round of our first half of our second map today here at the ESL Pro League. I've been having a blast. We hope you are as well. Let us know. Hashtag ESL Pro League. Now, triple AWP. So let's just quickly do some counting, Lauren. So there's 1 on A main, 1 towards middle, and 1 over on B. That makes sense. Splitting up between your 3 lanes.
Yep.
So close. If Olaf jumps up for that smoke...
Fact. It's cheat.
If Olaf jumps up for that smoke grenade, he was a dead man.
It's a really nice angle as well. Kio's going to be just... got to be careful, though, because obviously timing is everything. You've got a very limited bit of vision there, so he's got to be kind of careful how he plays this one out. Alu going to be going actually pretty aggressive for information here. Hoping that no one's on the boost. It can be a little bit vulnerable towards that. It's going to back away from it. And also Fnatic is set up towards that mid-play, and they did not expect Alu to be there, but is a one-to-one trade enough here on the CT side? I'd argue probably not. I
think that favors Fnatic 100%, no doubt. I mean, he gets just the 1. Now they have mid-control. Oh, wow! Keo, quick flick, actually damages Zoloft down to 21. That was through almost 2 layers of walls, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 40 seconds. Mid-control has not necessarily been fully relinquished. I made a mistake. Rain actually still on sandbags. It does look like Wenton's got the read, though. Just staring at the Norwegian's position, going hunting as well. This does favor Rain, but no, Wenton takes him down. Solid work again from Wenton. That's the 2nd round in a row. He has been the linchpin in the solid T side of performance. Now a 2nd shot coming out from Rain. AZ forgot to zoom down the scope, and this time he's not going to be making any frag movie plays. 20 seconds and the bomb will go down. That clock is extended down now to 40.
Retake time for FaZe, simple as that, and it's got simpler for Fnatic, not FaZe, as Kio's in the 1v3 and has very little step towards his site, no utility to play retake on, but he's got to go for it anyway. As, here we go, bomb is ticking, and Dennis will be on to seal the final deal of the first half here. A very competitive first half between each other, and they get to see your lovely shirt.
Yeah, I just had the sudden realization that I've not got time to put my jacket back on, so you're going to have to accept the fact that I'm wearing a checkered shirt. It's happened. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
And I feel like the jacket kind of obscured my crazy checkered shirt.
Yeah, it did a little bit.
It did. Now you're just going to have to accept it. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to get this checkered shirt off of our screens ASAP. Fnatic FaZe will continue into our 4th half, essentially, of these best of 2 in just a moment's time. We have a spectacular CT performance from FaZe. We'll see if they can carry on into the 2nd half. Hello. You got me. I was going for the hair. This is what I do. As soon as like the countdown goes to like 2 and I go. and then I'm ready to go.
No odds.
It makes no difference.
You promised them a jacket as well.
Look at this. Oh, I did forget, yeah.
Your shoes are back there too.
I'm undressing. If this casting continues, if this goes OT,
Can you not say you're undressing?
I'll start working my way down these buttons and see. We need to be careful, actually, we really do. So let's go back up. Excuse me. See my little Austin Powers tuft of hair there. That's a good idea. Yeah, I think so too,
producer. Do you remember when we
producer.
casted Call of Duty, Alex, and we did discern something for a certain amount of followers?
Yeah, 300.
Can we?
Yeah, let's not go back there.
Let's not revisit that.
Yeah. Counter-Strike, Lauren.
Yeah.
So we are going into our second half of our second map here for the ESL Pro League. You have 4 maps to look forward to. This is the second of our first series, Fnatic and FaZe. FaZe are notoriously strong on their T side, and they've already put a spectacular showing in on the CT side of Cash, not forgetting that they did find the win on Mirage as well. And so here we are with what is essentially a very important pistol for Fnatic. They're going to have to start strong, and well, you know who's going to start strong on a pistol round. It's Mr. Dennis, as he does behead a particular Dane.
Yeah, Dennis is such a huge piece in the Fnatic puzzle when it comes to picking up so many rounds. You can bank on him to be able to provide so much. And FaZe, you know, very talented themselves, obviously don't quite have the same sort of impact player, at least in very specific rounds like that. So now what do they do with this? They have no utility, they just have armor and Glock. So simply, you want to look at B. It's the easiest place to get those entries towards. Problem being, there's Ultimeister playing by Headshot, you've got Lekro just behind him playing by the kind of, not the default plant, but like the plant for vents or checkers. So the USPS can do incredibly well at this sort of thing, unless you get overwhelmed, and he does. Lekro shows him how it's done! Oh! That's absolutely gorgeous. Kiyoshima gets plucked out of the air, leaving Alu to just dwell on what happened.
Lekro, wow, 4 kills in the round, that third as well, into the sky, as he does obliterate Fnatic's hopes to find a successful start into our second half here. That is beautiful to watch. We get to see it again. Okay, so number 1 was hot, second equally as cute, but now look at Kyo into the sky, and a second round goes into his head. 3 quick kills from Lekro, and he does save the day from FaZe. That was looking all too good for Fnatic as well. Fnatic start strong with the first kill, thanks to Dennis, and it just rolls with that until Lekro puts a big fat stop sign out in the street. SMG time, 4 of them for Fnatic.
Look at what FaZe is trying to do. It's very obvious they just want to get the bomb down, and Fnatic are saying, well, you could do this. We're playing retake. It's quite simple. Plenty of Molotovs coming in. Jacob might actually be forced out of this position because that was actually meant to deny the plant, but if anything, this just forced him to adjust. Now, for FaZe, it's probably going to be the late mid boost coming through as well to catch the highway players. It's something you've seen a lot of teams doing now. Not sure if Alu's up there right now, if he's just watching the back, it's certainly a possibility, but AZ is the one in trouble right about now. 4 players facing Wenton's the first to come forward, joined by Twist, and we're seeing that final push coming up highway. It does not work out at all, and Keo, you might as well just run and save this.
Yeah, it's careful. It's valuable resources coming into the next round, and you see the bomb getting defused as well. Kyo was hoping to take something out of the hands. Had Lekro got greedy for some odd reason. And talking of Lekro, not only did he have a great round, 17 frags for Mr. Lekro. We were talking about Dennis and Olof being the outliers, but Lekro has creeped and crawled his way up that scoreboard. And so, it will be a third likely consecutive round for Fnatic. Lekro started, and it seems to be like he wants to keep running now here in the second half. Mid-control being seized by this time. Twist can't quite find it. It takes him almost the whole magazine of his MP9, sprays the remainder as he tries to retreat, and it does look like it's going to be working out well for them. As the unarmored T's are just meeting a little too much resistance. Yeah,
it's not going too well for FaZe right now. So no bomb plant to be seen. Additional money for Fnatic, and everything's looking good for them. They get that buffer that they were looking for before. I think they should upgrade here. I'm hoping they do. Yeah. Okay, so Wenton does Dennis. To be fair, the UMP is viable. Positional, I guess, dependent or position dependent, but it can work and you want to get money. So that's kind of understandable to keep one and upgrade the others.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially given the UMP and its armor penetration. It's going to be the double smokes middle. This usually does force them to basically take mid in 2 steps. You take the first half, then you take the second through the smoke. However, that first half could pose a little too much of a threat. As you can see that Dennis has pushed up Lekro's in vents, and so they'd have to overcome both of them should they want mid control, and that smoke's just going to be laughing in the face of danger. Bomb will be going down though. FaZe are going to be able to get, I was going to say get this bomb down for free, but he did have to get a little tickle by that fire down to 56.
And Dennis has been able to upgrade, which is a really nice additional factor. Bit of silver lining there, but Now down to the remaining 3. Gorgeous position from Alu. Just expecting the push up around the back, denies any access from Dennis. Now he has to put himself in to be more relevant to the retake, because if anything, that'll tell Fnatic there's only 2 players watching that cross or watching the site push. Let's find out who we can exploit here. And good time being saved by FaZe. The final push has to come in right about now. Easy! He gets caught up, he gets taken down. Twist opens up an opportunity, and now Keo has to stop it. Good timing on the molly. That's going to deny them a fair bit here, and it's getting warm, and it got even warmer. FaZe close it down in the end. Alu's molly being the MVP that round.
Double kill for Keo. Could have very well have been 3 as well. The Molotov looked to be doing a lot of the work. Hokey dokey, artichokey. Look at this. Keo just knocks him down. All backs turned. They're all got kind of a little distracted there by Alu. He was just sitting there waving a big flag like the Matador. And now 10-9. Alu's going for the fast peek middle. It looks like the smoke wolf stopping him, and even a HE as well, just to knock him down to 89. This seems like, I mean, with the bomb's positioning, Lauren, I can't help but feel like this, if there was a B peak, would be a rather swift positioning onto B. And Rain, after this Molotov does subside, he's going to be making his presence. No, wasn't expecting Lekro. Nice off angle from him. Nails him to not only kind of behead the B assault, but also grab himself a fresh Tech 9, should he so choose.
Now for FaZe, where do you take this? They're basically, it's looking for an opportunity to even up, and Wenton just gives them it. I don't see what he was intending. You can maybe jump peek a little bit, but is it worth exposing yourself to that? Probably not. I'm not sure. Maybe a little overzealous, and now it's probably back to a 4v4.
When you are solo holding middle, it's often that paranoia that gets you. That jump peek, you sit there and like he could have crawled over boost, they could be right by Sugar. Like you basically just, you go for those jump peeks in the hope that you can get the information that you aren't going to be sitting there alone for long. Unfortunately, this time, he's rewarded for that late positioning on boost.
And I don't mind it once, but that many times you get a lineup. Dennis going for the easier lineup for the smoke towards A main does actually allow him to get taken down. A little bit lackluster for my taste, but what's not lackluster was Twist and Lekro. They're buying ample time now to form a retake for Fnatic. You've got Lekro down by the truck, you got Olofmeister going through main. The only bit of respite would be highway from Keo, but he doesn't know that. He knows nothing at this point. The assumption being made, the truck might be where the danger's coming from, but wherever he looked, there would have been trouble. And the retake comes through very nicely for Fnatic.
And that's going to be number 11. Just looks like they're going on the hunt, trying to pick up as much utility as they possibly can muster. Themselves an AWP and an AK into the round as the defuse is brought through. So Fnatic do extend their lead, and FaZe, I think that what we do need to do is kind of draw attention to their T-side when they have weapons. Because, I mean, we were singing their praises of Mirage T-side. We haven't seen that same level, Lauren, here on Cash, but to any extent. Like, they haven't even been doing the same kind of... There was an air of set plays on Mirage. I don't think we've seen anything similar in a kind of execute style here on Cash, not once.
No, I tend to agree. I think FaZe look a little lackluster so far. We haven't got to see that sort of power they had, that very quick piece of play. Now, I like this. Now, this is that kind of smoke mid split vents, normally like a 3-2. They looks like they're going for a 4-1 here, really opting to try and focus on the players towards Checkers. Twist in a lovely position. That is the biggest counter you're ever going to see to it, because most people won't boost with it, but now FaZe break through towards B. Only one to find a kill thus far would be Rain towards Lekro, but that's not enough. That might be, though. Catching out Olofmeister might allow a cross, but Twist comes in very well. Ample timing. The only way around that is to have more players splitting through mid over boost. That's the only option they had, and they didn't take.
I mean, a 4-1 split from FaZe, basically 4 going into B, means that your only real problem is if your mid guy doesn't show up. And he did. Twist took him down, then proceeded to just jump through vents, and it was definitely, well, power from Checkers, indeed checkmate in the round. 12-9 then. That was chess and Checkers. That doesn't really work. Nice attempt, though. Credit where credit is due, Alex. Really nice attempt, mate. Thanks, Alex.
Are you good?
Yeah, sorry, jet lag. But 12-9. Fnatic not far away, just 4 rounds away from that beautiful, crisp 16.
I mean, it does look like FaZe have run out of depth here for me. I think this is where we're seeing the difference between Fnatic being well-versed in a map, or at least well-versed in comparison to the other maps, and not. This is where they have that little bit more of a robust play. For me, I think there's still things that can be pointed out that are a little bit weaker than their previous lineup, of course. Look at it. Wenton playing mid, not quite the impact that Flusher can have. Let's be very honest about it. Flusher was one of those, masterful players, but it's more about the process. It's about, learning as a team, rebuilding as a team. That's what Fnatic are doing right now. And we're going to see, oh my God, you are so lucky, Olofmeister. A second's difference there. He's just going to position himself. Those ricocheted bullets have just carved out part of the wall and just say, well, they're not going to pre-fire it twice, surely.
Where is JChem and why am I confused? That minimap suggested he was outside the wall. Fortunately, he is not, just right tucked into the corner. I assume there could maybe be a smoke play in fruition. Instead, though, it does look like an A-Take could be on the cards. FaZe utility very limited, just a couple of flashbangs of smoke, perhaps from Kyo and AZ, should they choose to invest it on this take. And I have a horrible feeling Kyo is about to jump into the jaws of Dennis. He will be smoking out the cross, but that's not going to stop him from dying to this A main hold. A flashbang, perhaps? A jiggle peek, something? No, they both peek together, a double peek. That answers my questions, and it looks good for FaZe. Now all on to Wenton. Spectacular on the T side, getting entries into the side. He's doing the same, it seems, here on the CT, as two do fall to him. And his AK-47, he does as well have an opportunity to peek towards middle, but Alu, too damn good with the AK. Gets one towards Z and a second straight down towards barrels. A quick flick of his mouse and two down.
And now Meister's position being noted means that's a sealed deal. Finally, FaZe pull back into this one after what felt like a long time in the making here. It was a very one-sided matchup for quite some time. Fnatic seemingly so much better on the CT side than I expected. But now, the problem being these rounds have been kind of close. There's been plans from FaZe. They haven't necessarily been holding them. It means that as soon as FaZe broke back in, the money is not good for Fnatic. This could be a double eco on a couple of players here. This is very far from ideal.
I mean, this could level things out. You're absolutely right. And now keep your eyes peeled for a fast play from Rain. He didn't actually line up his flashbang correctly. Nice. Second. This time we'll get him out, and he knows that there will be pistols. It's kind of unusual to see someone going so aggressive without company, but it looks like AZ's going to be joining him over boost, and so this will be good for FaZe. Just went in with the 5-7 again. His small but mighty weapon does find two. Potentially, wow, he did. He tagged up one. It was Rain to finish, and oh, he did try and go for the USB. Obviously, the intel was there. Dennis knew he was dinked or lit, as the North Americans would like to tell us.
Or as Europeans say, when you tag him for like 19, it's like, guys, he's lit.
He's
like,
lit.
He's not though.
Yeah.
He's not.
Or if you're, you know, hanging out in Los Angeles, things can be dumb lit.
Dumb lit?
Yeah, that night was dumb lit, man. That's a thing.
No,
that's a thing.
not a
That's
thing.
what they say.
That's a joke. I feel old. I
know. I think dumb lit just means like super cool, but of course, saying super cool is no longer super cool.
But can't you just be ironic about it?
That was super cool. But that just sounds sarcastic now.
Yeah, that's true.
Irony and sarcasm, sometimes hand in hand.
It's tough being old, Alex. How will I be relevant towards the children these days?
You can just say dumb lit.
I can just make Minecraft
your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to use dumb lit correctly in this cast. Let's see what we've got though. Here we go.
Den's position could be absolutely dumb lit here, Alex. 3 kills possibly? Jumps in, that could be dumb lit. Oh my, how has he done this?
Wow.
How has he done this? How did no one kill him there?
That's nuts, and JCam could very well do the same. No, not this time. Twist is there with the UMP, and now it looks like a very reminiscent situation. This time it's Rain instead of Olofmeister trapped in a main. Rain and a main. I like that.
I made the pun rhyme about being on the plane. It was awful earlier into this game. Felt very bad about it. Shouldn't be allowed to get away with this, and it's not. Facing together from the truck. Smartly done from Fnatic, keeping that round in check. But yeah, Dennis getting away with that was ridiculous.
Burst from the Famous, where he had like 2 bullets left, and he finished the job with it. That was cool. That was dumb. Good.
Never say this again.
I love this. Let me see. Just want to see this kill. How many bullets did he actually have left in the Famous? So he tags him up. 1 bullet. See you later.
Oh, Dennis.
Oh, love that. 13-11, then it will be the scoreline, and this is where Fnatic needs to close out. They know FaZe's economy is shoddy. They've gone for the force buy, and so should they win this, it's almost game, set, and match. And that's a should. That's a big, fat should. They back away. Looks like that's going to use use of investment of utility from the Fnatic roster is forcing FaZe to go ahead and rethink their decision to go for a fast B take. Of course, it does favor the Tech 9s. Those close angles would enable them to perhaps get an extra weapon in their hand. But just the 2 weapons, Alu and Rain, this does not look good, Lauren.
So the thing is that in reality, FaZe could be exploiting mid so much more. There's only been really one player being there. It's either been Wenton when he's, you know, when they don't have an AWP. If they do, sometimes Twist will go there. But they could really make something happen from that and then take themselves towards one of the sides, you know, do that B split off the back. I'd really like to see that double smoke again, possibly. But, you know, it's how FaZe feel about it. We have hindsight. We have 2020. We have, you know, X-Ray on. We have Twitch chat telling us really what they should be doing because they are the true analysis out there, Alex. Yeah. But Alu's now going to be the one to look for the opportunity, and I like that they're taking a little bit of a look towards mid because it is very much sparse for any sort of opponents.
I do feel like Alu shouldn't be the first walking out mid, though. Fortunately, he did have his friend on boost, so I can go ahead and reel in the criticism just a little bit. But again, he's going to be the first in checkers. Is he going to drop? What on earth is going on? Alu is going to be the first man in towards B. He's got teammates behind him, admittedly, for the trade. And look, here they come. The wave of FaZe is about to come crashing against the Fnatic rocks already. Lekro has rocked it. Gets 1. A second this time is from Olof. They are just delivering, firing on all cylinders. Do the Swedes. The deadly duo find a necessary stop to that fast push from FaZe. And Alu, yes, he may have been the first there, but looks like he might be the last to leave as well, as he's alongside Rain remaining on B.
Alu's in such a vulnerable position as well. Safe from nowhere. Now he knows that Wenton's one in the vents. Now he knows there was one on upper, but can they find Twist? Rain! That's the sort of performance you can expect from him, and Alu just closes it off. But what a sick bit of play from Rain to keep that round looking even viable.
That was actually just a really fun round to watch and to cast. First Fnatic bite with very quick, swift 3 kills on the B defense. Then the remaining 2, Alu and Rain provide all the necessary frags. 5 kills between the 2 of them. Nuts. 13-12. This game is far from over yet, Lauren. It's going to, in fact, level out, I would assume. I mean, that's a P250 for 2 players of Fnatic. The rest are on the most prime of ecos. Most prime? Most...
Ample?
Ample? No, what's the best? Like, it's the most pure eco. Taut? Our producer's giving us bad words.
Did you hear that American as well?
Tart. It's a tart eco. For real.
You've been around a lot of American casters recently, so
seriously.
Oh, gosh, stop it.
Woo, nice, Kyo.
Ooh.
What's the kill? Gets a kill, and a second. That's going to be Rain then, who does find the head of Lekra. They are unarmored, so let's stop getting too excited, as this does feel like we're going to be finding 13-13. Any superstitious viewers leave now? You ever been funny about superstitions? You ever been sitting there like, oh, don't break the mirror, don't walk through the ladder? Are you any of them?
If someone could walk through a ladder, I'd probably be a little bit more suspicious.
Underneath them, you know?
No.
No, none of that. Okay, good. Black cats don't freak you out?
No, I had one.
Oh, they always, you know what? I feel like black cats love the hardest because, you know, some people don't like them. They have to work harder.
My cat was a real douchebag.
Oh, right, okay.
Absolute douche. That's the nicest word I could put for it. I just hated
sliding
humans.
down. Look at that. That was cute. We've had some fun corpses today, is something I thought I'd never say. We've had some fun corpses here at ESL Pro League.
There's a, you know what? There's a word for that, Alex.
There is a subreddit called Out of Context, and I feel like I may end up there. Oh, that's a delightful corpse.
If they come back to camera with you in that pose...
We do like our corpses here.
Don't you dare, Matt.
No,
don't you dare.
Matt, no, don't.
Don't you dare.
Oh, that's not cool. I knew he was going to do that. I prepared myself. Still, back to the 13-13 and Superstition awry. Looks like Lekra could die. Oh, Poet. Hold on. 4-4. Now, they're pushing through the smoke and he is full white and he is out of there.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to be done. You can't expect much more. He couldn't run back. He couldn't fall away from it. He just had to commit, try and find some sort of respite in the smoke, but that's what he could find was the bullets from the opponents. Now 4v3, huge advantage now for FaZe. Bombs planted, decent out plant position. I like where AZ currently is. He can control vents, but he actually takes a swing out here. A little bit unnecessary at that point, but he does claim Twist, which means all in all, this is a done round. It was done for quite some time, considering Wenton and Dennis are already saving in CT.
Yeah, it's done, and it is dumb lit for FaZe as they do find 14. Bomb will be exploding shortly. There's no doubt about it. Now, whether or not Rain actually is going to take a weapon out here is a different question, because he's probably going to come into contact with one, if not 2 of them. The crossfire established, and that's going to be Dennis again with a FAMAS. Not quite as stylish as his previous FAMAS frag, but all the same. He's going to have it taken away from him. Jacob pulls it away, and I mean, you know what? FaZe can go hunting here. They've got oodles of cash.
Yeah, and
yes, I used oodles.
And the disparity between FaZe and Fnatic is quite drastic, bearing in mind that Fnatic have no money, so that was very much worthwhile them actually hunting down those weapons.
Oh, that's a lovely corpse. Look at it go. It's like I used to go to somewhere called Charlie Chalks when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure that slide existed. It was pretty scary at the time. I think if I went back, it wouldn't be quite as intimidating as it was when I was like 9 years old. No. It did look very scary though.
I can imagine.
Had a big like red arrow going down it. Yeah. And it was, like, I don't know why they let us go down, because you can just get like burns. You know, like if you're wearing shorts, like flesh on, that's kind of...
Alex, bring it back in.
Oh, sorry.
Bring it back in.
Okay, talk about the game.
That's it.
Okay, I can do this.
14-13.
That's what I'm here for. And you can see Fnatic are looking for answers, because at the moment, this is turned over. Like, I think the defining round was that B win, the 2v essentially 5, Rain and Alu getting all the kills. Because that was what got FaZe here to the 13-13, now 14 mark. And they likely will be picking this one up. Of course, that is just glancing at the economy, not accounting for some spectacular plays, which we know the Fnatic players are capable of.
Why do you thinking dumb lit fun corpses? That's all I can think.
Who am I? I don't even know anymore.
Don't know. I'm so sorry.
You just told me to reel it in, and then you remind me of how unreal
giggling
that.
like mentally about it. Just think, but it's a very slow round from FaZe because they are quite cautious and they have the mollies to be able to speed up later into this round, so they can clear those corners, which they're trying to do right now. So they should put one down to probably Toxic. And no, Alu, you got to hit those. There we go. Finally comes up with it. Dennis goes down. It's a very quick, clean A take in the end. They lost out elsewhere, but the bomb's going to be planted, and they should find good after plant positions.
Wow, we talked about calm before the storm, and the storm was swift, just walking on the side, and just a flurry of frags in favor of FaZe. Fnatic fall. Alliteration. Thank you very much. 15 though to 13.
It's not as impressive when you keep like highlighting alliteration. It's like math.
Hey guys, look what I did. Look what I did, guys. Is what I was just. WMP then for Lekro and Olof.
Oof.
In fact, the triple. Excuse me. Twist is hiding at the top of that one. This could very well be over, Lauren. This is looking like Fnatic, their last breath, their last whimper.
Similar to my career currently, on its last whimper.
Where is that smoke going? I was excited. Rush?
To Highway.
That's Highway, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, at the top so they can separate them out.
So it allows FaZe now to push in as well. If not mistaken, I think it should be that smoke anyway, but Dennis doesn't mind. He's going to find two very quickly, and Wenton's there. No one able to flush him out. They had mollies for this sort of thing, but they're going in without them. Jacob and Rain still have them to put into play, but yet to utilize everything they can do. Now it's just Rain. 1v3 against 3 UMPs. It's possible. It's Rain, let's bear in mind, and he's been on point. And these angles aren't going to stop him from getting the bomb down. It's all about the retake.
It is all about the retake, and it's all about the confidence, in the words of Gotwan. So, does he choose to go for this Z player? He knows he's got to make this a more manageable scenario before he does get that bomb down. If he does get the bomb down, it just invites a 3-man retake. Instead, it looks like he's going to try and separate this into separate 1v1s. It was first Olof first of all, and actually, you know what? The SMG prevailed, and so Fnatic keep this competitive. They brought 3 SMGs into the round as CTs on cash, and it worked out for them. Now, let's not forget, FaZe do have oodles of cash, and so it enables them to go ahead and just go for the full, and I mean full rebuy. They're even buying themselves some Tech 9s should they need a sidearm. Now, what on earth does this mean Fnatic can bring in? It still looks like it's going to be, yeah, it's manageable. In fact, the only real hindrance will be the absence of an M4 on Dennis, but he seems to be very comfortable on the, excuse me, it's Lekro this time. He's been comfortable on the FAMAS in the past, and nice little tag, just drawing a bit of blood on the wall in middle. Wenton's responsibilities in middle have provided, wow, look at this wang from Keo. Wenton's not sure where to go.
Q's been doing outstandingly well, considering he has no info directly as to where he is. He's making like good assumptions, you know, making good guesswork as to where he might be playing from. Now, Wenton could back away from this. They don't have an AWP in place, so they can't make the option of playing, you know, mid from quad basically or anything like that. It's very hard to give up mid control at this point. They still have Olaf Meister in the vents as well, so they don't necessarily have to. Again, 15-14. A lot of mollies. This could be one of those late in the round kind of hits.
Look how passive Wenton's doing that jump peek as well. He got taken down by Alu after going for the wide jump peek, and now he's found himself a much more safe alternative. He's just checking that corner, trying to catch him on the cross. Keo has already crossed this, so no information gathered for Wenton with this jump, and all he's going to do is make him a big, loud nuisance in middle. And now he has been spotted, so Keo's advantage has been squandered. There's that bomb as well. T-side unwilling to commit to anything. Alu has returned. If he goes for another jump here, this will be his last action in the game. No, that brought down to 1 HP. He's lucky to be able to still contribute. The HG didn't take him down either. He was a little further up the ramp. It was actually his teammate who went for that peak this time. And now it looks like Fnatic are filling up the kill feed again. I'm starting to feel OT vibes. AZ looking to change that though. He's going to walk out, and that's, oh, Dennis, I thought he was a little close to be pulling out knives. Fortunately, just bided his time onto AZ. And now just Keo and Rain. Now, we saw what Rain was capable of on the B side, and a very similar kind of scenario, but I do not think this is looking good. Pushing through the smoke, time was of the essence, and a second surely should be on the cards for Dennis. It's just a matter of time. There it is. We're going into overtime, and so me and Lauren will be forced to commentate some more of this spectacular CS. Look at them go. Fnatic and FaZe have demonstrated already that both of them seem to have, I don't want to say like limited tools in their arsenal, but no, I haven't been impressed by either team's T side, if I'm honest.
Not in comparison to Mirage.
Right, exactly.
That was such a different picture. Yeah, it's a very different display here. Neither looking as impactful as they were before, but again, it's like, where's Keo been? He's not been having that big, you know, influence that he had before. A little quiet. We've not had those crazy AZ moments. We had that 1v3 that he pulled off actually on, I think it was the first half, I guess. Rain's had a couple. Alu, you know, it's been few and far between. Whereas Fnatic in the last throws of this game certainly had the resurgence to pull themselves back through, and it actually started to look pretty good for themselves. But OT's a different matter. OT turns into, you know, one dance with Fnatic basically at this point. These guys always seem to be able to provide here. Now, I'm not saying they can in this instance. I think that FaZe certainly is a bigger challenger than most. But if anyone turns it around in OT, it will be always Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about old Fnatic or new? I mean,
I think it's just Fnatic.
I think that you're attributing that to what is essentially just two members of that roster. Wenton, perhaps you could just regard as a third. He certainly did a spectacular job of filling Olaf's shoes, and I say spectacular. He was the chosen player after, you know, experimenting with Klessin. It was Wenton who did kind of get locked into that roster, and now he finds himself playing in an official capacity under that organization. Very cool to see. And so we do stand at 15-15. This, of course, if anyone is unfamiliar with the structure of the ESL Pro League, it's basically two best of ones. You can see game 2 of 2. Mirage went the way of FaZe in a very much a convincing fashion. Their T side, very robust. And this is why I think I've kind of fallen into the trap of expecting more from them on their T side here in Cash, just because Mirage did look so damn good. 13 rounds on T side Mirage.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know. I mean, I just wasn't really impressed by anything. There was a couple of really enjoyable rounds. I really liked Lecro's hold on B with the pistol. I liked the FaZe breakthrough from B. That was with, you know, these set plays that they primarily actually revolved around B as I start to talk through them.
Yeah, I think it's just looked a little lackluster for me. You know, we haven't seen those big set pieces. We haven't seen those incredibly clean anti-ecos. There's been a few, you know, and these are the things that interest me is, you know, how do they approach it? I used to love watching the likes of Envy, for example, on their anti-ecos on their T side, when they'd approach the B side with so much vigor, when they used to, you know, be able to molly out every single corner, really play this meticulous piece. And that's just really interesting to watch to any sort of tactically minded person who doesn't just get excited by Kenny S hitting a crazy shot, you know? They're the other sort of redeeming factors for me. There just wasn't that much of it. There wasn't those decisive mid-takes. They weren't too exploitative towards either side. It was just very much, oh, let's just get a pick somewhere, let's see how it goes. Yeah, and that's fine. It's totally fine. I just want to see a little bit more from these teams because, let's remind ourselves, this is Fnatic and FaZe, two of the big heavy hitters here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the discussion of defaults, isn't it, really? With kind of Fnatic, the old Fnatic, I will have to kind of remind people, the old roster were infamous for basically playing those defaults as almost the only real kind of page in their strat book. And that was because, of course, if you do really rewind the clock, that was down to Pronax and his affinity with calling the round as it plays out. They don't have that now, and so it comes down to other things, other tools within their tool belt. Or toolbox, however you choose to store your tools.
Would you rather have a belt or a box?
I feel like a belt would get a little bit clunky. I'd like all of the tools, and so having a belt probably wouldn't hold all the tools I was after, and so probably go for the box.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for asking, though.
No,
let us know what you would like to store your tools
hashtag in. ESL Pro League. Please do let us know.
We ask the big questions here.
We do.
Yeah.
And we get the big answers from you guys at home.
Yeah. Give us the big answers about your tool over on hashtag ESL Pro League. So, into the first round of overtime, here we do go. We're delving into a 5 AK setup, and it does look like it's going to be that 4-1 split that it's going to be going ahead and throwing some resources at B, and only one man would be receiving them currently. That makes me uncomfortable. It would be down to Lecro, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down the pace just yet.
Yeah, this is going to be hard to hold. There's no one there with him. There's no one in checkers. It'll be a quick rotate through vents. So this flash, this Molly sort of this piece here from him, this bit of play is brilliant. It's isolated plays. It's allowed him to stay alive, to see what's happening towards him. He finds the bomb as well. A 1-for-1 trade out is not the worst in the world for him either. That's got Fnatic a fighting chance to come back through. And there's Olaf Meister towards Alu, leaving FaZe with nearly 3. The Molotov as well placed, but through the fire and the flames, Twist will provide, leaving just AZ standing very lonely here in a 1v3.
Love that from Lecro. I mean, just using his utility, who otherwise would have just lost as he fell. Instead, he just implemented every single one of them, maybe not perfectly, but enough to divide and conquer. So, AZ going to be looking at Wenton, and that's the first gone. Now, uses that smoke to position and do so safely. Bomb on site, and this is by far from, excuse me, impossible to win. Molotov, however. Oh, that's a body. Olaf, he's going to get pincered in. No, AZ suddenly. Oh, he's only gone and done it. Mind-blowing stuff from AZ. 4. I had written him out of that round. They were closing in from headshot, closing in from behind the site. And he just divides every single player. He makes 3 1v1s, 4 in the round in total. We get to see that again. Olaf reveals his location by shooting the corpse, and that's going to be spectacular from AZ. You said he was having a good game yesterday. Looks like that's not going to be stopping here today.
What is up with him? Every time he goes towards B, he pulls off these 1v3s, these crazy these moments. It's just brilliant to watch. Wenton, though, strikes back quickly, and that was needed. Get them off that big rush of, confidence coming through. Get them back down to earth here. And now, 5v4, a tough one for FaZe now to work our way back in towards. Not going to be easy here for them, but certainly viable, certainly possible. Lekr needs to be careful.
I do just love how well AZ played that. That's going to be echoing through my mind for a while. And, well, unfortunately for FaZe, they've already lost nearly 2 players. Jacob's down to just 7. Wenton was the first to throw the punch, though. After falling first in the 1 versus 3, he now finds himself drawing first blood into the second round here of overtime. Easy caught on the cross, but look at him, Dennis! He had oodles of time. I need to stop saying oodles, but now look at this. Twist gets another. It's JChem gone. Just 2 remain from FaZe, and let's not forget that Fnatic will not be handling this situation lightly after what happened in the first round. Lekr has the opportunity to surprise, but no, the shoulder peek does nothing but actually hinder. And a second from AZ, he is getting kills when he shouldn't, Lauren.
So he's probably back to not, I wouldn't say the most possible of situations, but something where they have to stay switched on. And well, that's the first strike, and now he spots Twist on the shoulder peak too now. Bomb is loose 30 seconds, that's the issue. He doesn't have the bomb to hand yet, it's not far off, so he can pick it up, but it's going to limit his options as to what he can do. Not too many ruses, not too many fakes. When he gets to the site, he has to commit to it. Got a smoke and a flash. Pick your poison now. Where does he think these players are going to be? Slowed down on that approach. Can't make it past MBK. Twist with a nice angle there. And well played between him and Lekr.
Whew, okay, I was starting to get worried that we were going to have 2 1 versus 3s back to back. Fortunately, though, Fnatic do make a game out of it, and that crossfire was much better than the first. Sitting in MBK, I think the time really was the biggest best friend there for the Swedes. The fact that they knew he would have to come to them. None of their fun and games or ruses, as Lauren so eloquently put. But into the third, then, we do venture. And it does, again, seem like a fast mid-take. Jacob's going to go ahead and try and get as much information early as he can, and that's a bunch of it. Look at that, 3 of them just stroll through middle, no smokes not needed. As the only kind of question mark is going to be sandbags, and that should do the job. Looks a little short. Instead, A main info gathered. I love this. This is just a battle of the information plays.
And Olofmeister still being here is huge. What? Rain? Rain, switch on AZ now. Tries to do what he can to keep it in check. He can't do it. Oh, Olofmeister gets the double, gets the triple. Oh my
That's
God.
so stupid.
What is that? How is he allowed to do that? That's just blowing my mind, Alex. You can't play that corner like that. You can't get away with that. And Alu just goes down. One he shot before that. Everyone ignored him, just thinking, oh, it's fine, don't worry, that always happens there. And then somehow makes 3 out of that position. You cannot do that. It's a one and done spot, Alex.
That's what it's called. It is. It's called that for a very strong reason, and that's the fact that you get one and you're going to get swarmed. It's easily tradable. Rain, I mean, he saw him. He turned around, he acknowledged his presence, he got shot at and tagged. I don't know whether he didn't make the call or FaZe didn't respond to it, but either way, Olof pulls out his USP and not only gets 1, he wins a duel with the 3rd AKV USP, and it was by no means a one-tap either. 17 found for Fnatic, and that is through the most odd circumstances. Olof going unnoticed, and a quick 3-piece from him brings home number 17. So into the second half then of our first overtime, and I'm saying first because I wouldn't be surprised if we see another.
By the way, just to highlight people at home who are, you know, down in the depths of silver. I know it's tricky down there. I've never been silver myself, but I've heard from Mitch it's very tough. That when I said it, you know, going past MBK corner, it's because, you know, it's literally called MBK's corner. Thank you to the people in chat who tried to teach the others as to what this means.
Oh, were they suggesting that you'd thought
MBK's not playing? It's like, oh, no.
Lauren, you've made the first mistake you made was actually looking at Twitch chat.
But I need people to make me feel better about myself, clearly.
No. Aggressive peeking from Keo. Look at him, just goes straight in with the BDP, and now look at Rain doing exactly the same here in A main. That's going to be another, no it's not. Dennis just tagged up, and AZ wants to go for the trade, but there's 3 players all willing to zip up his body bag. It looks like it will be Wenton this time who does that. And wow, not far off, Keo. Could have brought it down to a 3v3. HE will do not much either. Dennis just tickled further lower. That's a thing, I promise. 6 though is all he has to work with. And the retake's going to be coming from 3 different angles. I like the structure of FaZe's retake here, especially if you get that now 3v3, and they're coming from each different angle. Twist, however, wins out on the duel with Jacob. A little premature. Ali wasn't ready by Squeak.
This is kind of unnerving now. Ali, what can you do here? Quick peek. No one. Lekr, be careful now. He can't overstay. That's what you wanted. You wanted that instant response. Don't let him get away with that. Now Keo has to step up, and well, he's been a bit absent until then. Finds Wenton. It's a 1v2 now. Lekr's low, and Twist is only on 40. He knows where Lekr is. Sprays for it, and now 1v1, Alex.
You can hold that. There's no kit, though. Twist is going to go hunting, but Twist doesn't know that. Keo turns his back and can't quite turn his gun. Twist will get the kill, and that's going to be 18. Whew, not far off. He did need the kit in order to win that round. The bomb was already quite close to Explosion. Wow, a sigh of relief from me. You can hear just during the cast that could have got messy. That plant was not ideal for the A main hold. However, Twist stood his ground. And as soon as he kind of realized, you could see that the kind of panic in his eyes. Okay, hang on a second. There's a smoke grenade on the floor, and that bomb is not for me.
Yeah.
One more needed now for Fnatic.
That's devastating. What a way to get to that marker as well. And already first pick provided. Olaf Meister finds Jacob. Twist, if only you knew.
You can ball back that, totally. I'm almost certain.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon he's just going to do it?
No, I'm saying
you should do it. Just do it. No, they're both cheating, Alex. It's like, who's going to show it first? All the paranoid people out there like, just do it.
I'm certain that's bangable.
Yeah, you can shoot through it. I don't think it does full damage. That will, though. Twist with a full peek towards Alu finds now the perfect opportunity. FaZe are desperate for a way back into this round here. With limited opportunities, though, they have to go beyond the expected now. They have to actively search for it. Double smokes to mid. This looks like a B-split coming in if I've ever seen one. Cut off any risk of going through those vents if required, but they don't do it. They hit the brakes. They slow it down, and they wait to see FaZe's response.
Smoke from AZ just trying to go ahead and just delay anything that Fnatic choose to put together. But I don't know if delaying them with still over 50 seconds was initially on the clock is really going to do too much damage. 2 players stacked up on B, and so FaZe have made a risk here. They've rolled the dice, and currently doesn't look like those dice are going to net them too much success. In fact, where has this come from? Who has made this call? Because AZ's abandoned the A as well. It looks like, I guess, they're playing for the retake, he says, with apprehension, as here comes the nades, and now AZ is going to have to try and go ahead and slow them down. He's done a good job. What? Lekro's gone 1.
Oh my god, he's not done either. That's 2. No. That's a 3rd. AZ is just sick. That kill towards Olaf Meister should never happen. That is not what you see every day of the week. And again, how much can this one man provide? He's left with more, though. 2 more players standing for Fnatic. They want to close it down. Keo claims Dennis, and it's all on Twist.
And only an orb to work with. It's the worst for situations like this. Getting hunted down by rifles, you're cornered. Bolt action, and it's going to be him who falls first. Not a single drop of FaZe blood drawn on the retake, and it will be the 17th as the defuse comes in courtesy of Keo's likely sweaty fingers. He got 4 in that round. Excuse me, AZ did.
Spaghetti everywhere. Just...
knees weak.
Arms feeling pretty heavy here, Alex.
And that is most definitely going to be a potential second OT. Now, I said I was feeling second OT. Now, it's not like Fnatic's buy is going to be damaged. They are going to be down to the...
double orb T side. They're pretty good. They're pretty good for money. I don't know if I like it on T side as much, but hell, with these 2 players on it, you can't really doubt so much. It
will just be a question of an aggressive CT peak will be extra punished. I mean, like, this is actually a good example of that. Dennis, if he preempts those boxes, if he continued to do so, chances are he could have caught someone going for that push through main. Instead, though, looks like we're going to be taking a very, very, I was going to say, kind of counterintuitive structured peek here. So he's opening the door, and what was that from Twist? He was attempting the speedy flick. He barely even registered that he had moved his crosshair before he did release the bullet towards upper. It was Rain on the receiving end of that, but he's fortunately still breathing for every FaZe fan out there. This is so default. Look at that. That's a line of T just across cache.
And it's almost mirrored, in essence. You look at it from both sides, all of them holding pretty far back. No one's in no man's land, is what I'm looking at. No one's gone a little further ahead. No. 0 people taking risk here. This is one of those rounds where it just comes down to pure power in the moment. Jacob's shown a little bit of his hand here. The Molly's going to force him out of that spot, though. He's going to have to make a little bit of a different position. And he gets away with it. He's readjusted perfectly fine. Where were they? Where was
Twist is the question. He was in the prime position to be holding that. He did have an orb in his hands. Let's not forget it's perfect for the cross, but now FaZe are taking us into OT. Oh, my lord. Jacob takes a leaf out of his teammate's book and takes 3. AZ did it in just the round prior, and now Lekro is up against the ropes. It'll be Jacob to throw a 4th frag in the round his way, and wow. Okay, 18 to 18, we're going into another draft of overtime. Lauren, I mean, these guys cannot be separated. It happened in regulation, it happened in our first, and now potentially even in our second. There just is nothing to separate these 2 teams here on our second map. Now, this is what we were talking about. So the Molotov forces Jacob on the cross. And now,
but Olaf was there with him as well.
There is neither of them watching that cross. The Molotov would rarely... that angle does not suggest he's going to back up towards the boxes. He was given a choice, and perhaps maybe it was a coin flip, but either way, not holding that angle did cost him the round, because J-Chem bounces back from that, and we get to see those kills as well. Look at them line up. Wenton's head is the first to the chopping block, and then it's just Twist in the peak. Didn't quite hit the shot, or didn't have time to fire it, and then a very low health Olaf makes things look even cooler.
Just gorgeous to watch this sort of play. You know, this sort of level. It's just brilliant. So, we are not live, as I assume that Lekro and Dennis will probably not want Glocks for this round, so we can just kick back. Alex, how are you finding casting CS again, buddy?
Good. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of dumb things.
I was about to say, what were you going to say? Dumb things?
Dumb lip.
Dumb lip.
I'm just proud of you for, not only do I present a challenge for you, but you actually...
Not mentally.
No. But as in I told you to say dumb lit in the cast, and you do it straight out. Like within 10 seconds of the challenge being issued. Very impressive.
Yeah.
You want to
I feel like
give me a challenge for
pressure.
this OT. That's what I want. I'll let you think about that.
Okay.
You squeezed dumb lit into a FAMAS one tap. It's pretty cool.
It's true.
Yeah, you had one bullet in the chamber. That's what's
true.
super cool.
That is true.
So we can't say super cool anymore.
No, we can't. We can't. Yeah. That's how I show my age.
Grandmas.
We might have to do, like, I want you to find a relevant use for the word of saucepan.
Saucepan. I've got you. I'll think about it.
You need to fit it into overtime at some point. Guys in chat, if you have any suggestions, family show, remember? Hashtag ESL Pro League. Any word you'd like Alex to use in a relevant manner. He can't just shout it randomly.
Just go pineapple as they push B. It doesn't really make much sense, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So relevant words you want to be, you know, put in. We can work on it. Hashtag ESL Pro League. But for now, we're underway.
Indeed we are, and if anyone has just joined us, first of all, welcome. We're having a blast. We hope you do too. It's FaZe Fnatic. This is our second map of our first series of the day, a second one to look forward to after this one. Naos versus Penta will be going down across 2 maps. But here we have to find a champion. FaZe have already hold the victory on Mirage, and now they have an opportunity to make it 2-0. FaZe have been spectacular. 10 wins to 4 losses so far in the ESL season. Now they have an opportunity to go ahead and make it 12. Come on, Alex, they already have 11. Forgot to add that today's result. But this, again, is feeling rather defaulty. Just as I say that, though, double boost onto mid, and it's not going to be easy for Keo. He only gets the first. Now Pressure looks for the trade, but Olaf's there to greet AZ. Swings out wide, and he is now in the grave. It's just then Alu and Jakem left to try and make something out of this round. It's not looking likely, Lauren.
No, it's really not, unless Alu hits something crazy here. Jakem's done well, and oh my word, okay.
Okie dokie.
What was that, Alex?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Never listen to me again. I'm losing my mind. I'm like a madman with a saucepan on my head. How's that count? That kind of count? I was stretching it a little bit.
But Wenton's still in this.
Alu only has an AWP to work with. There is time, and so that bomb will not be burning a hole in his pocket just yet. Instead, FaZe 2 versus 4, and they could very well be doing it. Jakem was a big part of that. Took down 2 in very quick succession, and now Wenton needs to find his second, and he will do so. Fnatic are saved by the Bell and the Wenton. Spectacular work from them. As number 19 will be found. He couldn't find it in the overtime before. Yep. Finally, someone has managed to do so. Nice saucepan work. And I think people wanted Harambe to be utilised. Oh, that's such a great joke. Leave Cincinnati Zoo alone. Like, it's such a spicy new meme, guys. I've never heard of this before. It's so fresh. No. Not cool. Not cool, guys. Not cool. All right, we're back into this though, and now Fnatic do have the lead. And that was a close fought round from both sides. We are seeing individuals swinging the tides essentially either way every single time they make these plays. So I'm curious who's going to be the man to step up this round. It's been Jakem, if I'm completely honest, for FaZe to keep this one even close. And now we wait. Fnatic looking for their first opportunities to draw blood across the map, however. Not really opting for much aggression just yet. A little bit of a posture towards B more than anything. Dennis, Wenton, Olaf, and Twist all there. Could be the double smokes mid and then a bit of a B split. Or just a late boost up, try and isolate and on push close, as there were 2 members there just prior into the previous round. So again, there's those mollies. An instant response to what was happening before. But no one to work off it. Now that's intriguing to me. I don't know how you feel about that, Lauren, but investing 3 Molotovs into middle with no one to catch them should the Molotovs find success. I mean, you go on towards fence, you can throw double towards the under boost, and not a single person was in a position to catch someone should they be tagged and forced out of position. So intriguing decisions made by Fnatic, of course. If you want to try and think about it, perhaps there was a change of plan after the Molotovs were released, because now they come through middle. Makes no sense to me, but if it does work, as Alu does go down. Now a second as well. Fnatic are making this mid push work. Now Rain, smart move as he realizes numbers don't favor him. 3 players in front of him. Gonna try and get 1. No, just the first, as Olaf makes life difficult for him, and this will surely be it. Excuse me, AZ snaps on to Wenton's body. But now all for the Frenchman, and not looking likely. As I say that, it seems like I need to stop saying that, because every single time I doubt the 1 versus 3 or the 2 versus 4, something comes back to grab me, and okay, I see Twister's just making my life a little hard to understand. He threw away an AWP and bought a new one, but last round, did it? In it. Okay.
It's because
I'm okay.
FaZe can't afford anything, basically, and they'd rather have the 4 rifles, and just roll with it right now.
Screw you, Fnatic. 20-18 in our second overtime here in our second map of the day.
Yeah, and FaZe have no money. That's the problem. They've been worked down, beaten up, pretty much been beaten black and blue by this point, down to just the upgraded pistols with the armor and a touch of utility to support it. And AZ, not what you want to be doing with that one, I don't think. It kind of worked anyway, but just not quite to the corner that you maybe would have wanted. But still, who am I to judge? AZ's going to just clear out Squeak and just say, oh, there's no one here just yet. Look for other opportunities, look for other options. Rain, though, this has been a regular spot for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they look at it, pre-aim it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fact that his smoke covers it as well. That's the, I mean, it's kind of definitely a telestrated play. And okay, AZ. Under pressure, they know exactly where he is. Likely a Molotov or something will try and flush him out. And but both of them, a HE and a Molotov, but it's going to keep him safe in the corner. He's got a teammate as well. Fnatic, they'd be foolish to challenge this. This is where the 5-7 thrives in this exact scenario. Now they've invested 2 Molotovs into it. 1,200 for that kill. It's a big flash of the cash, but it will work out in the end.
And FaZe look to be flabbergasted by the end of this round. Going to be hard for them to try and pull back in anything from this point. Fnatic on the rotate as well, going to make it even tougher for FaZe to be in the right place.
Yeah, FaZe do seem kind of stuck in a vacuum here with their economy. Not looking great. Just trying to build in to what is essentially a very poor buy. Nice work, and oh my god, it's only getting better. 2 now down for Fnatic. Dennis and Olaf forced to watch as the rest of the round does transpire. 15 seconds, it does have plenty of time to get that bomb down. The retake starting to be formulated. Ali from behind, one from Checkers, and the other from CT. Now Twist, this is actually quite a difficult exchange for him to win. Now that he knows where Rain is, he has to swing out and be visible, but look at them go, and oh my lord, Wenton's low. That could have gone so damn worse for FaZe, and now look at him, 4 points of health. Wenton's gonna be pressured. The pistols can easily take him down, but talking of pistols, they've got AKs and rifles now. A FAMAS for Keo. On the way in, low health Wenton, Lekra has to do it all, but no, look at Wenton, catches one on headshot, lives up to the name of that position, and now we see Fnatic in a very prime position to go ahead and celebrate.
Yeah, 21-18, good showing from them at this point. I've been silly, haven't I? My brain no working good.
21.
Yeah.
On the half, do not fret.
I was like, hey, it's not over yet. There's another
Well, you panicked me, you tapped my...
Yeah, I was like, Alex is like feet up on the casting desk, just
I was sitting there
man
like,
spreading everywhere.
Second OT.
And then, I was like, oh wait, it's the second
Did you not
OT.
hear me though? Because I was like, oh, and Fnatic will have... And then you were like,
I
was like, reason to celebrate. You scared me, Lauren, you animal.
I'm sorry. I thought you were the one trying to close towards it being the end. I was like, I believe him.
Alice Clark.
No.
Second half.
Counting's hard. Yeah, 21-18. This is finally where Fnatic look a little more robust. The individual, I guess, prowess that we've seen coming out from certain individuals from FaZe has kind of worn down eventually. It's not quite gone to the extent as prior. So the likes of Jacob not had the time to just quite have those big performances yet. Again, though, T-side certainly could work out. FaZe certainly do have some viability towards it, but that Molly's going to be a real problem for... Does it spread? I don't think it does there. He's been put out anyway, just in case by Jacob, because it can spread further than that. So, right. FaZe need to get these first couple of picks here.
Absolutely, they do. And we've said it once, we'll say it again. FaZe's T-side here on Cash has, yes, it's worked. Yes, it's kept this game close. We had a 15-15 half. And it just does seem to lack just a little bit of that polish we saw from Mirage. Fnatic, equally as unpolished. But a very fun game to watch. It has just, that lack of polish has enabled us to identify some of those individual aim plays even more so. AZ has been spectacular round to round. We've seen clutches. We have seen 2 versus 4s. This has been a wild ride.
Yep, and it's not over yet, Alex. The nice molly comes down there. Twist will probably catch Rain here at this point, but while this begins, FaZe will be claiming the A site as their own. Now, Dennis has had to back away from this. He can no longer withstand those initial peaks, but he actually baits out a little bit there, actually, in the end. Olafmeister will fall because of this. Maybe expecting Dennis having that angle on that position, but it wasn't the case. But the rest of Fnatic pull up their socks and get the frags in the bag. Keo and AZ now, 2v4, have to go big, and it's not happening. Twist is taking matters into his own hands, and it's just Keo.
Surely not. Keo 1 versus 4? Really? Is this real life? Dennis answers my question with a big fat no. It's in all caps, and it's going to be number 22, as that is it. GG. Fnatic take the win. Keo playing and toying with our heartstrings towards the end of that one. And a sigh of relief for every Fnatic fan as it will not go any further, but the Frenchman damn gets us close.
That was so close at the end then. That could have gone either way. I think he was actually out of bullets by that point. I think he literally used his whole clip to get that far and had maybe like one bullet at the end. But what a game. What a marathon game between these two. And I think it just highlights how good these players are as individuals. How maybe neither of them are completely robust as a collective yet, because obviously Fnatic not quite yet being as comfortable with the lineup. But for me, a gorgeous game to watch from start to finish. I think it's a really nice way for it to finish out at, the current scoreline it was.
Yeah, I mean, it goes level, and you know what? It makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, it does represent fairly how that game played out. I think Mirage 1000% was FaZe's, and that cash was a bit of a coin toss. And seeing it end 22-18 demonstrates exactly that. FaZe conceded their 5th loss of ESL Pro League, and Fnatic, well, they needed that. They really did. So that's going to be a bit of a confidence boost for the Swedish roster as they try and find their feet. As we said already, they've already lost, I think it's 3 games in the Pro League, and so just seeing just a 4th, not a 5th added, is probably going to be a little bit of a...
Yas.
A little bit of a yas. I was hoping you'd give me the word I was looking for. Thank you. Benefit. There we go.
I was hoping you were going to just close out. I was just like, yas.
That's like, have you seen Broad City?
Yes.
I'm really enjoying that at the moment.
Really?
Anyway, yeah, just watching.
Is that just because you're traveling or just because you needed something to watch?
Just needed something to watch. If you type in funny things to watch on the internet.
Is that what came up?
There's lots of things, yeah. Cats as well, just lots of cats.
Yeah.
I watched one where a cat got scared by a balloon. It kind of poured it with intrigue and then popped it, and it just, it like jumped, crazy.
I recently watched Big Hero 6 and it was really good again.
Very uplifting.
Second time watching.
Love that. Check it out. That's a cartoon to check it out. Anyway, guys, you've been great. Loving the hashtag.
Baby.
You guys kept throwing in. Hairy baby. I'm trying to say goodbye. You guys were great, by the way, on the hashtag. It was awesome. We had some words. She managed to, I think I said vacuum. You managed to squeeze in a couple. Really appreciate that. Hashtag ESL Pro League for more of the same. For now, though, we do take a break. When we come back, you get yourself Mouse Sports versus Penta, and Mitch will be in the driving seat of that one alongside Lauren. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in just a bit.